let me ask you these questions. How do you know your thyroid is struggling? I'm going to go through a couple of things. We'll do the top 10 first. And I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen and jot down for yourself, how many check marks do you get? When you hear something I say and you go, oh yeah, I have that, check mark. All right, you ready? I'll start with the top 10 most obvious. There's the really obvious stuff, which is, do you have a diagnosis that centers around the thyroid? So that's Hashimoto's, hypothyroiditis, hyperthyroiditis, Graves is an autoimmune condition, thyroid cancer, thyroid nodules, goiter. Those are the obvious ones to me. So that I would say, do you have a diagnosis that involves your thyroid? The second one, what I come across, which I find so interesting, people who are taking medication who do not realize that they have a thyroid condition. So do you take desiccated thyroid, Synthroid, levothyroxine? These are all medications that somebody along the way said, oh, you're going to need this because it looks like that organ is struggling. Let's get into the symptoms though. Is your metabolism off? Whatever that means to you. Do you have low energy? Do you have weight gain? Do you have cold hands and feet? These are all metabolic functions, by the way. Is your hair thinning? I had a client where, sweetheart of a human, who said, oh yeah, no, my hair is not thinning, but you know what? I haven't had to shave my legs in about 6 years. It's glorious. Oh, well, I love the convenience of that, but I have to say now we need to start looking to see how your thyroid is. I have another friend who is a hairstylist and also holistic nutrition practitioner. And she will tell me that she looks for the way that her clients' eyebrows are if it appears to be thinning. And that's one of the pieces that she looks for in order to help educate her clients and for them to know, hey, so just so you know, I'm noticing your eyebrows are thinning. Have you ever thought to look into how your thyroid's doing? Do you have cracked heels? That's mine. Constipation. What's constipation? Going less than once a day. Or if that once a day is like a chore, like really hard to pass. Do you have bone density issues? This can be osteopenia, osteoporosis. Are your cholesterol levels off? Yeah. Okay, that's more like 11 top ones. Let's go into some more, maybe not as obvious signs that the thyroid is struggling. Do you have fatigue? And it can be mental fatigue. It can also be physical fatigue. There's an adrenal piece to the picture here, which is what I've been talking about for a bit. But there can also be a thyroid thing because your thyroid regulates your energy levels in the body. So if you're fatigued, how's your thyroid? Do you have brain fog? Or maybe you can think of it this way as your stamina waning, either that cognitive stuff or your stamina to get through tasks over the course of the day, physical tasks. Do you feel stress keenly? Do you feel like the veil between the world and you is a bit thin? Do you have dry skin? Doesn't matter how much cream you put on. Do you struggle with mood stuff? Is your digestion not working well? Do you see undigested food in your stool? Corn does not count, but lettuce, tomato skins, we need to talk. Do you have dull aches and pains? Is your libido waning? Your desire to dance with yourself or a sweetheart? Is your fertility struggling? In some cases, absolutely, the thyroid could be a part of it. Do you have period issues, erratic periods or painful periods? There can be a thyroid component here. In some cases, breast cancer, especially when there is a lack of iodine and lack of vitamin E in the diet, thyroid can have a part to play in certain breast cancers. In some folks, cardiovascular stuff, plaque buildup, atherosclerosis, cardiovascular disease of all sorts. Yeah, there's a thyroid heart connection. Do you have, this is another one that I discovered because I have it, and I was doing research trying to figure out what was going on, but do you have keloids? So when I go in for surgery, I've had surgery on my shoulder after a car accident, and do you develop keloids? That's what they're called. Keloids are where it's almost like an exaggerated scar, where it's sometimes raised, or it's kind of like, it's not a nice, neat healing. It's kind of this bulbous, extra scaffolding kind of thing that's going on is what it feels like. Or you can also have these little bumps, and I have like 6 or 7 of them on my face now. Yeah, that can be an indication of a process between the liver and the thyroid that is not working well in terms of your skin, and can be one of the ways that thyroid underperforming shows up. Okay, how many check marks did you have? If you had more than 3, I'm going to say I think the GoodFood network might be a good fit for you. So listen, really I want to make it clear, like being human is a thyroid sponsored act. Everyone has a thyroid. If you don't have one, you're dead. Like all genders have a thyroid. It's not just a female thing. And thyroid is part of your glandular endocrine system. So it's part of your hormonal system. And it is a really important organ in the sense of how your body works. It is, I think of it as the main engine in a whole, if you are a masterful symphony, your thyroid is the conductor. That's the analogy I'll use. And it governs so many different things in your body, including metabolic work. So your metabolism is essentially your ability to take in the energy from what you're eating, what's happening in the world, the information you get from the outside world, how you formulate and break down those nutrients and the stuff coming in, and how you rebuild it to make energy to get things done to get through your day. The ability to raise my arm is a metabolic act. The ability to put together my grocery list and orchestrate what's going to happen in my day and when I'll be able to go to the grocery store, because we are out of fruit and yogurt, and it is a crisis in our house right now. That is a metabolic act. Anything, getting hungry, getting the hunger cues is a metabolic act. The desire and ability to get it on with mahani is a metabolic act. So anything to do with your mood, energy output, your sexual health, and the desire for everything tied around that, these are all metabolic functions. And the running around the block is metabolic function. Like kind of all of the things that humans express themselves with are all metabolic in nature, is what I want you to think of. So anywhere this metabolism is impacted, we need to go back and see how the thyroid's doing.